Hi everyone and welcome back. Recently I was asked by a friend, because he wants to get into the classic Doctor Who era, where to begin, and the Big Finish audiobooks. So I thought I'd do this short video. Okay, the first and second Doctors were made in the 1960s. Now the 1950s and 60s TV had a very familiar feel about it and look, and you'll probably see that come across in a lot of programs. Go to sites like YouTube to have a peruse at some old shows. It might not be the place to start with Doctor Who. It's down to you. It really is down to you. If you want to start from the beginning, great, excellent, best place to start. But not everyone can start in that era. 1970s Doctor Who started being a bit more different, and TV of the 1970s was sort of branching out a bit more. So the contrast between the 60s and 70s is there to see. So you got a choice. You can jump in on John Pertwee's Doctor, the third Doctor era, or Tom Baker. Now, Tom Baker's my Doctor. I would be very biased, and I'll just tell everybody, start with Tom Baker. I'm just biased. I admit that. So, really, it's something you want to think about. I would say definitely the 1970s era of Doctor Who, John Pertwee and Tom Baker is probably the best place to start viewing Doctor Who. Now, what about later on? Well, in the 1980s, Tom Baker was still the Doctor up to the early 80s, so you really don't want to watch Tom Baker in the early 80s. You want to watch him from the 70s. So that will lead us on to Peter Davidson's and Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy, Doctors of the 1980s. I think Peter Davidson was the last era of good stories, because after him, I have nothing against Colin Baker or Sylvester McCoy. I think they did the best they could with the material they were given in terms of the storylines, and they did their best. You're really looking at the back end of Doctor Who here, you know, the fall of Doctor Who, you could say. Probably not a good place to jump in. I would definitely go with the 1970s to jump in there and to go forward, and eventually give the early Doctors a try, that of William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton. They are well worth a try, because there are some very good stories in their eras. You could also check out Paul McGann, his 1990s one. Very different in style. Definitely very different, and you could see that style was definitely going to be the footprint, you could say, of the return of Doctor Who in 2004, 2005. So, okay, let's move on to Big Finish. Now, I'm going to give out some good advice here. Now, Big Finish have done some good stories, but their prices are quite expensive. So, you want to start off in their cheap range. The first 100 Doctor Who stories, they're all around about, I think, £2.99. Now, sometimes they will appear in a sale for £1.49. So that's where you really want to start off with, in the cheap end. Analyze the stories of the more expensive ones. Here, listen to the trailers, read the synopses, try and get reviews elsewhere, like on Amazon. Give you a feeling, and that could help. If you want to play the long waiting game, this is the best way to do it. They have a bargain every Monday. They run for a week, and sales pop up here and there and everywhere, and you can buy them at a cheaper price. That's the long waiting game. It's a hell of a wait, but it is worth it, because the prices do come down on their bargains and sales and so on. And I'll be going a bit more of this later on in another video, and also the classic Doctor Who TV series as well. Right, I hope that was a little bit of help for everyone. Well, I hope so. And on that note, I will catch you in due course on the next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.